guys, welcome back to One Pretty Little Box. I finally am here to show you how to make the kitchen sink cookies. So, are you ready? I hope so. First, let's do some cookie tips because I believe that there are little tips and tricks that we learn from each other, and maybe something I share today will be a tip that is new to you or something that you'd like to try. So my first tip is, when you make cookie dough, you do not have to bake it all. You don't have to bake it all. In fact, today's recipe, I baked 9 delicious cookies, and that's it. That's all I have time for. Seriously. I have enough now for dessert this evening, or a snack, or whatever anyone wants. But I don't feel like I need to do them all. I don't need to do them all. So, after I put the 9 that I was going to bake on my cookie sheet, I rolled the rest of it up in parchment paper. And then I've got it in a freezer bag. And this is going to go probably either in my ice box for a week. I think it'd be fine for a week, or it's gonna go in my freezer for 3 months. And if you freeze it, you can pull it out, let it defrost enough for you to slice and bake, or yeah. I'm like, where am I going with this? Or you can even slice them frozen. I have found that it's really, with a really good knife, all you gotta do is heat up the blade and you can slice it while it's frozen and then bake it, especially if you like really soft baked cookies or you like a gooey center. That is a great tip and a great way to get that. Otherwise, go ahead and toss it in your ice box and just bake them within a week or so. My second tip is if you want to store these after they're baked in the freezer, that's easy too. I would put just a layer of I would put, Sheila, focus. I would put layers of paper towels in between each of your stacks of cookies and then roll them up really well, again in parchment paper, and then put them in a freezer bag. I think the more you protect them, the fresher they taste. I'm really picky though. I do not like stale cookies. I don't like cookies that feel grainy in my mouth, like they've been baked or over baked, or have been just sitting out for a long time. I think that's why during Christmas time I just bake them the day before we're gonna actually serve them, and I don't leave them out. I usually try to keep them in an airtight container to keep them fresh. I have a, do I have it in this one? No, it must be in my other cabinet. I have a big glass cookie jar that I like to store ours in, and I will put a paper towel, or they say you can keep bread in there. I have not ever done that. I just haven't, but it is supposed to help with the moisture. Now, mind you, I live in Texas. I'm on the Gulf Coast. We have a lot of humidity, about 85% of the time. So those kind of things are things that I pay attention to because we have a lot of humidity in the air. You might not. You might need to figure out a way to add moisture into whatever container you store yours in because your air is so dry. I don't have a tip for you on that because, again, it's not something I deal with, so I'm not sure how to handle that. And of course, back to parchment paper. That is I love using parchment paper whenever I am baking cookies because cleanup is easy. You can transfer the paper off of your cookie sheet and add another piece on to continue baking if you're baking all of your dough. And then really you're only using those 2 pieces because you can reuse it as you're baking, especially if you're baking the same kind of cookie. So, oh, you know what? One of my other tips is vanilla. The recipe today, the original recipe, I've kind of switched a little things up on them. Vanilla was not part of it, but it just adds a depth to it. And of course, this was a peanut butter cookie recipe that we adapted by adding in chocolate chips and butterscotch chips. That's why we call it kitchen sink cookies, because it's everything but the kitchen sink. I really kind of want to try it with pretzel pieces as well, but I'm afraid that that might be just too much going on. This has a lot of flavor going on, different directions. That's why it's so good, because you take a bite and you're like, wow, what is that? And usually it's that butterscotch chip that's hiding, that when you see it, you think it's peanut butter, but it's not. And it kind of does a little trick in your mouth. I don't know. It's delicious. So let's get on to the rest.
Time stops when I'm falling for you. The world stops spinning. My head is spinning too. Time stops when I'm falling for you. Saw me. Did your world stop spinning? Does your world revolve around me? Me too. Me too. Should I stop where I'm falling for me? Is your is your head spinning too?
Thank y'all so much for baking with me. If you try these cookies, let me know how delicious they are in your family. I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye-bye.